You wake up, and for a brief moment, everything is quiet, and then, almost immediately, your mind starts filling up, not with one clear thought, but with many small ones, things you need to do, things you should not forget. Decisions waiting to be made, conversations you're already anticipating, nothing dramatic, but already too much. And what makes this confusing is that from the outside, your life might look completely normal. You are functioning. You are reliable. You are doing what needs to be done. You are not falling apart. But internally, it feels different. Simple things feel heavier than they used to. Noise feels sharper, decisions take longer, and by the middle of the day, you already feel like you need a break that you're not really getting. Most advice around ADHD tells you to improve your structure, manage your time better, or become more consistent. And while that can help to a certain extent, it often misses what actually changes after 40. Because the issue is not only how you manage your time, the issue is how much your nervous system is processing. And if the level of input stays high, no amount of structure will feel sustainable for long. In this video, I want to show you a different approach, not how to do more, not how to optimize your productivity, but how to reduce the amount of input your system has to handle every single day, in a way that is realistic, subtle, and actually works over time. One of the reasons overstimulation becomes more noticeable after 40 is not because something is suddenly wrong, but because your system has been compensating for a very long time. Many women with ADHD or highly sensitive nervous systems develop strategies early in life that allow them to function well. They become organized, attentive, responsible, and capable. From the outside, this often looks like everything is under control, but internally, this level of functioning is often maintained at a higher energetic cost. For years, that cost may not be fully visible. There is enough energy to keep up, to adjust, to push through environments that are too loud, too fast, or too demanding. But over time, the margin becomes smaller. Hormonal changes, accumulated stress, and simply the number of years spent compensating all contribute to a point where the same level of input starts to feel heavier. So instead of asking, how can I handle more? A more useful question becomes, where can I reduce what I am taking in? This shift is subtle, but it changes everything. Because you are no longer trying to fix yourself, you are adjusting your environment and your daily rhythm so that your system does not have to work as hard in the first place. The first area where this becomes visible is your physical environment. Most people underestimate how much visual input they are processing at all times. Every object, every open tab, every small piece of clutter is something your brain is scanning, organizing, and filtering in the background. This does not require conscious attention, but it still consumes energy. Creating a calmer visual field does not mean removing everything or living in a perfectly minimal space. It means being intentional about what stays in your immediate line of sight. If your desk, your kitchen counter, or the space where you spend most of your time is filled with small, unrelated items, your brain has to work harder to maintain focus and a sense of calm. Even a small reduction can have a noticeable effect. Removing a few objects, closing unnecessary tabs, or simplifying what you see first thing in the morning creates a quieter starting point for your day. This is not about aesthetics. It is about reducing background load. A second, often overlooked factor is light. Light directly influences your nervous system, and yet most people never consciously adjust it. Bright, overhead lighting, especially in the evening, keeps your system in a state that is closer to alertness than to rest. Over time, this contributes to a subtle but constant level of activation. Switching to softer, indirect light in the later part of the day can create a very different internal response. Warm tones, lower intensity, and fewer sharp contrasts signal to your system that it is safe to slow down. This may seem like a small change, but it affects how easily your body transitions into rest and how much tension you carry without noticing it. Another major source of overstimulation is decision load. Many women underestimate how many decisions they make in a single day, not just large, important decisions, but small, repeated ones: what to wear, what to eat, when to respond, how to organize a task, whether to say yes or no. Each of these requires a moment of evaluation, and each one uses energy. Reducing decision load is not about becoming rigid or limiting your freedom. It is about removing unnecessary friction. When certain elements of your day become predictable, your system can relax because it does not have to constantly evaluate and choose. This can look like having a small set of go-to meals, repeating certain outfits, or assigning general themes to parts of your week. The goal is not perfection, but a gentle reduction of the number of choices you have to actively process. Equally important are moments where your system is not required to process anything at all. Many people move through their day without a single period of true low input. Even when they are resting, they are still consuming something, scrolling, listening, talking, or thinking ahead. But your nervous system needs moments where nothing is expected from you, not even engagement. Creating short, low-stimulation windows during the day allows your system to reset in a way that active rest does not. This can be as simple as sitting quietly for a few minutes, taking a slow walk without your phone, or looking out of a window without a specific goal. These moments may feel unfamiliar at first, especially if you are used to constant input, but over time, they become one of the most effective ways to reduce overall overload. Social interaction is another area where input can vary significantly in intensity. Some interactions are neutral or even regulating, while others create immediate tension. This is not always about the person, but about the dynamic, the timing, and your current capacity. After 40, many people notice that their tolerance for certain types of interaction decreases. Conversations that are rushed, emotionally loaded, or require a high level of masking can become more draining than before. Recognizing this is not a limitation, it is information. Instead of trying to push through all interactions equally, you can begin to adjust how and when you engage. Shortening certain conversations, spacing them out more intentionally, or choosing calmer contexts can significantly reduce the amount of social energy you expend without isolating yourself. Another key shift is to structure not only your time, but the type of input your system receives throughout the day. Many people unintentionally stack high-input activities on top of each other. They move from a demanding task directly into another demanding task, without any transition or recovery in between. Introducing a simple rhythm between stimulation and calm can make your day feel more sustainable. This does not require a strict schedule. It is more about awareness. After a period of high focus or intense interaction, inserting a few minutes of lower input creates a buffer that prevents overload from accumulating. This rhythm becomes especially important in the evening. The way you use the last 2 hours of your day has a disproportionate impact on how your system feels overall. Many people continue to expose themselves to high levels of input in the evening, whether through screens, conversations, or information, and then they expect their system to suddenly switch into rest. But your nervous system does not work like a switch. It works through gradual transitions. Reducing light, slowing down your pace, and limiting input in the evening creates a natural descent into rest. This not only improves sleep, but also reduces the baseline level of tension you carry into the next day. What becomes clear when you look at all these areas together is that overstimulation is rarely caused by one single factor. It is the result of many small inputs accumulating without enough space in between. And because each individual input seems manageable, it is easy to overlook the total load. The goal is not to eliminate stimulation completely. That would not be realistic, and it would not be desirable. The goal is to create a balance where your system has enough space to process what it takes in. This is what makes your daily experience feel lighter, even if your external circumstances remain similar. You don't need to rebuild your entire life, but you may need to adjust how much your system is holding at once. And often, the most effective changes are not the dramatic ones. They are the quiet reductions that your nervous system immediately recognizes as relief. If this resonates with you, you can subscribe. This channel is about building a calmer, more sustainable way of living. With a complex brain, especially after 40,